All right. So if you could be known for only one thing, what would it be?
I have a feeling like I should say mobile homes.
All right. We'll run with that. Okay, good. So, what is the greatest lesson in leadership you learned as an entrepreneur?
I'd say it goes back to what I talked about earlier is learning to helping people create an impact. And I think if you find that's why I'm so proud of our team is that everyone in our company cares about helping others. And I think when you give people that uh, and a way to do it, and you just let them be free, they will find a way to be able to help people. I still tear up today personally when I see a family be able to purchase their first piece of ownership, and that is what drives me every single morning to wake up early and to work late nights. It's not, I think there's too much content out there chasing like how can you make 10,000 a month or whatever this number is, but that only goes so far. But when you find helping people is really a beautiful thing, I think that's something that should be said.
Very true. A very important and integral part of the entrepreneurial story. Glad we could get that out today. And then, what personal characteristic has been most pivotal to your success?
I think it's that word resourcefulness,
Yes.
being resourceful. Um, like I said, every single huge problem that we have to tackle, I take it upon myself to really deep learn that and find information for myself. Right. I think, when I say that, I also come from experience of, like hiring somebody that's been through a college versus somebody that's actually passionate about marketing. And in many times it's the person that really is passionate about marketing that does better in many cases. But not to say that it's, someone that's been through the college is not, but I think it's being resourceful is the hugest thing.
Outstanding. Yeah, we all have more resources than we avail ourselves of. So I love it. Hey, now let's take a nod to the randomness in the universe. This next question could be anything from the trivial to the profound. Just let me know when to stop cutting the deck.
Stop.
All right, here it is. Oh, if you could appear on any game show, what would it be?
Huh. I would say Wheel of Fortune, probably. Wheel of Fortune is a show that I feel would be kind of fun.
Hey, great. Yeah, my wife always said I'd be good at Jeopardy, so I'll have to
Yeah,
run with that. I don't watch any game
I-
shows.
that's what first came up in my head, but I feel like there's a lot of facts that I wouldn't get right, but we'll see.
Right. Name a book that's helped to forge you as a leader and as an entrepreneur, and why?
I love the lean startup, and being in the Silicon Valley, I've very fortunately met a lot of leaders in big companies, and I think this is a good book to kind of understand how do you build utility, how do you how do you create progress and eliminate the noise of everything else, and it teaches you how to create a minimum viable product, um, to be able to get feedback instantly. But I think that's a book that isn't really well known, but is mentioned a lot in many entrepreneurs in this area.
Outstanding book. I've read it, and that concept of the MVP is just amazing. Version one beats version none every time. And people, particularly in the startup space, this is a way to potentially pull yourself out of the quagmire and potentially take a failure and find success. So yeah, great book, totally underrated, should definitely be read more widely. Name the biggest hurdle in your business in the last year and how you overcame it.
As we started our business and we talked about prototypes and or MVPs, we were really like on our third ever build of a home. and all of our money, all of our funding were from investors and that sort of thing. And we had what's weird enough is it's cool that these homes can be transported, but there can also be accidents. And there was an accident where this home tipped over, and it was kind of a nightmare. And with that, it put our cash flow to not knowing if we're going to be able to move forward with this dream and that sort of thing. But very fortunately, we were able to get past it. We were able to get better funding options to get over that hump. And it was a dark time. There was some legal issues and funding issues, but we always did what's right to our investors, to what's right for our customers and that sort of thing. But that was probably the biggest hurdle business wise.
Yeah, outstanding. And all these overnight successes usually take a decade or more. So yeah, it's important to share those stories. Can you give us a quote to help forge our listeners as leaders and entrepreneurs?
Oh man. Quotes. Hmm. Let me think of a
Well, I'll tell
quote
you
that,
what, just a few minutes ago, I felt like you just nailed it. We were talking about the opportunity to help people in business, and we just give people a way that they can do that, the sort of things that you see. So I thought that was just amazing. But I want to hear
yeah.
from you, like what off the top of your head, what is doesn't have to be like a personal quote, could be a famous quote. What
I'm a,
really drives you forward?
I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek. And the title of his book, I don't know if you'd consider it a quote, but is Start with Why. And I think, communication is a very important thing. And kind of like what we mentioned is like, hey, if we understand the why at a deep enough level, we will figure out the way to get there. Right. And I think starting with why and understanding how to define that why, not just for yourself, but for your team and for your company, is a very important thing.
Right, outstanding. Franco, I want to thank you for coming to talk to our audience today. But before we go, I want to make sure, how do people reach out to you if maybe they want to invest with you or they want to just learn more? How do we reach out to Franco Perez?
Yeah, all of our stuff is on that link you mentioned, the www.franco.tv. You'll see our 3D tours of the homes we build. You'll see video content of the communities, the how it's built and that sort of thing. Or you could just Google us at Franco Mobile Homes and you'll be able to find us.
All right, outstanding. Thank you so much for taking your time to share your knowledge and experience with our audience today.
Yeah, and thanks for having me. I love what you're doing. So it's inspiring others. So I'm
All right,
thankful to be.
likewise. Love your work.